Before we get on to our final band of the evening, I want to go through some end-of-the-year acknowledgments, awards, and things like that. So the first thing, I'm going to go slightly out of order, but the first thing I want to do is acknowledge our seniors in the program. Between all of our groups, the symphonic band, the concert band, the wind ensemble, the jazz band, and our marching auxiliary, or the color guard, from the football season, we have 24 seniors this year, which is really fantastic. And so I'm going to call all their names. They might not all be here tonight because, like I said, the color guard hasn't been in season for a little while, but if I call your name, if you're on stage or if you're out there, go ahead and come up. I'm reading them in the order that they were in the spreadsheet on my computer, so there is no order. But the seniors will come up, they'll get a gift handmade by our band booster vice president. Thank you so much, Danielle, and everyone who helped her. And if they've been with us for 4 years, their entire high school career, they'll also get a pink graduation cable. Pink is, I guess, the ancestral color of fine art. It was that way when I was in high school and when I was at UNM, so I guess that's the way that it is. That being said, if you're a color guard student or if you're also in orchestra in some way, then Mr. Brown and I have, after having some aggressive negotiations, decided that he would give you your graduation cord. So you might not get one if that's the case for you, but everybody else with 4-year participation, you'll get that from me. So I'm going to read all of the names, and then for space on stage purposes, I'm going to go over there to hand out stuff. So seniors, I would ask for you to either come up from on stage or from over here, come up the stairs this way, get your stuff, and then head off the stage in the traditional way, okay? So we don't crowd up. So, in no particular order, there is Emily Watkins, Sydney Vance, Isabella Stokes, Gabriela Rubalcaba, Koch Dot Quiver, Iris Ortiz, Pluto Kandargi, Rainer Moon, Scotland Douglas, Sam Campen, Idali Cruz, Genesis Garcia, Lasagna Gonzalez, Sarah Lopez Barella, Carol Motley, Kevin Perez, Diego Reballero Santos, Rachel Salazar, Gabriel Doshevsky, Joseph Thoreau, Peter Wong, Naomi Hughes, Abram Mihir, and Isaac Bowers. So in a shock to no one, the order I had on my spreadsheet is different than the order that Danielle had. So make sure you get your booster gift before you go. Up next, we're going to do our band and auxiliary letters. So in order to earn a letter in an activity at Albuquerque High, you have to meet a series of criteria as created by the instructor, in this case me. So the students who have earned their band letter or their marching auxiliary letter met 7 requisites. Some of them are extremely simple and straightforward. For example, you need to be at all the performances, or you need to make up anything that you miss as part of an excused situation. You need to have an A in the appropriate classes, in this case band or marching auxiliary. You need to maintain a good attitude, things like that, but you also have to do extra stuff to prove something beyond. So the students who have earned their band and marching auxiliary letters have in some way done some of that. They've gone to an extra performance related to their discipline, whether it be wind or percussion playing or color guard stuff, and then they've done 10 acts of service for the band. So that could be anything from playing at extra basketball games, helping me organize something, helping load or unload the band truck, anything extra that is above and beyond the normal expectations of a normal member, but it is 10 acts of service that way. And so this year we have 18, well sort of 19, but we have 18 students who completed their band letter, and I say 19 because one of them earned both a marching auxiliary and a band letter, so maybe 18 and a half, but that's pretty cool. So once again, I'll read all the names, and then if you can come up from on this side, or if you're on stage, you can come over and receive your band letter. If you are lettering for the first time, you'll receive the felt letter A that says either band or marching auxiliary on it. If you are lettering for a subsequent time, then I will give you a pen to add to it. And so sort of the ultimate triple crown or whatever, quadruple crown of band is to have or any activity is to have a letter and then 3 pins for 3 subsequent years. And some of our students have done that tonight, which is really cool. So, congratulations for your band and marching auxiliary letter to Gabriel Quintana, Jackson Aiden, Saif Siraj, Diego Raballero Santos, Sierra Buco Natachu, Theodore Richter, Patrick McKigney, Idali Cruz, Lasania Gonzalez, Gabriel Boshevsky, Sarah Lopez Barella, Emma Harris, Mian Travers, Misha Woodards, Abraham Alejos, MJ Jones, Melody Archuleta Griego, and Kochstock Quiver twice. So out in the what is it called? Lobby. I say the foyer. The space between this room and the commons. There is on the wall a poster of band memories. I asked the students to write their favorite memory from the year on a piece of paper, and then I very badly glued them all to a poster. So I encourage you very much to check that out on your way out. It's quite an adventure to read some of the memories up there. But I put a memory on there, and I thought it was worth sharing. And of course, it's to embarrass somebody, so I have to do that. So one day I was talking in my office. I was talking to Brian, and I'm not really sure how it happened, but for some reason we were talking about his forehead. And he said that Jackie likes to put her fingers like this and count how many it takes to be his forehead. And so she said she would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that, and get to like 7, a 7 head basically. Okay, and so then Brian responds by going, well, that's just because you have midget fingers. So then I thought, that sounds like a superhero duo, so I printed some certificates that say The Amazing Adventures of 7-Headed Midget Fingers. All right, now I have a couple of special acknowledgments. One of which is because, of course, we have our amazing booster organization here, and people volunteer for that. So please accept my heartfelt thank you for anybody who's helped out with booster things throughout the year. And every year we have parents who go above and beyond, and I know that I'm not able to recognize as much as I would like to everybody who helps. So thank you very much for everything that you did. Yeah. And so this year in particular, our booster president of 3 years is moving on because her daughter has to go and graduate. I guess I could fail her, but I think you'd have enough elective credits anyway. But I wanted to say a special thank you because when I started at Albuquerque High, there was a booster president there. It was his last year being the booster president, and Ashley Varela stepped up to be the booster president as sort of our first go-rounds together, and so I'm really grateful for that, so I have a card for you. Okay, 2 more special recognitions, and then we'll be on to the Legacy Awards. So could you join me, Genesis Garcia and Liz Gonzalez? So for those of you who may not know, before I taught at Albuquerque High, I used to teach middle school at Truman. And before that I taught elementary school. But I've been teaching for 9 years. This is my 9th year. I guess not quite 9, but 9-ish, almost 9. And when it was my 3rd year teaching, I guess, I was teaching, obviously, beginning band at Truman, and Liz and Genesis were in my beginning band there with me. And so we went through the COVID thing, and that was their 8th grade year, and it was also the year that I got the job here. And when I started, they were on my roster. So of my 9 years teaching, I've spent 7 of them with Genesis and Liz. And I was thinking about it today, and we've done somewhere between 30 and 40 concerts together in that 7 years, and this is our last one. So thanks for everything. up next is our Legacy Awards. So these are awards that are traditionally given annually. They're for seniors who have exhibited in some way something above and beyond. So the first one is the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award. Louis Armstrong, of course, being a very famous and prolific jazz trumpet player and vocalist. But he was also an extremely kind and exemplar example of a fine musician, but also a fine person. And this award was named after him, or in his honor. It's given at thousands of high schools around the United States, and is very closely curated by the company in charge of it, so that it is only given once each year at each school. And so much so that they actually require school verification when you purchase the award from them. But it is an award determined by popular vote, and although our jazz band is not performing tonight, the jazz band voted for the senior they thought exemplified the most, the clearest idea of a good jazz musician. That's somebody who's on time, somebody who's prepared, somebody who's knowledgeable in the jazz style, and somebody who's a kind and caring person and who does the right thing. But importantly, it's out of my hands and it's in the students, and I always am appreciative when the students, and they always do, make what is, in my opinion, an appropriate choice. So, this year, the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award goes to Abram V. Hill. The next award is the Director's Choice. It's an opportunity for me as the director to honor a student that I think is deserving of extra recognition for either work ethic or extra endeavors, or just somebody who's been extremely dedicated and committed throughout their 4 years of high school band experience. And I should say that this award, as well as the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award and the one following it, are all what I call a legacy award. So there's plaques in the band room that list the names of these students going back throughout the history of the award. The Director's Choice Award is relatively young. I started it here when I started at Albuquerque High. The one, the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award, we have records going back almost 30 years, and the following award goes back almost 50 years of history being awarded every year, so that's really cool. But this year, the Director's Choice Award goes to Kochstadt Quiver. And she's not performing tonight because I think, well, she's a color guard student turned drum major eventually, but she's also the one who lettered a couple of times, so I'll get that to her. The last one is the John Philip Sousa Band Award. John Philip Sousa being the reason that band exists in public school like this is because John Philip Sousa started it back in the military band in the United States in the early 1910s, and he is responsible for bands cropping up all over the country and gaining the momentum that we have today to honor them. So he is an extremely prolific composer. People call him the March King. He wrote over 500 marches, and they've all been cataloged and recorded by the United States Marine Band, so you can look up all 500 if you're not sure what to listen to next. They're all been done, and most of them are public domain, so band directors like me can go online and download them and have that experience, because he wrote from about 1880 until about 1928. Don't quote me on that. But it's all there. And this one is also by popular vote, but it is for the entire band program. Concert band, symphonic band, everybody gets a vote no matter what. So this year, the John Philip Sousa Band Award goes to Sarah Lopez Barrera. evening, before we get on with our final group, is a bit of a bittersweet award. It is a memorial scholarship given in honor of a student I never knew, but his name was Ezra, and you can read about it on the back of your program if you're interested, but he passed away unexpectedly, a band student here in Albuquerque High, and he was planning to be a career musician, planning to carry that forward, and he never got to have that chance. So in his honor, his family established a community scholarship, which you can donate to using the QR code on the back, should you feel so moved. But in his honor, they award a scholarship to help students who are good people and exemplify the qualities that he did, and are going to continue in music in some way, whether it be as a career musician or as a hobbyist. And so they offer this scholarship to give those students the chance to experience the things that Ezra never was able to. So I'm very happy this year to award the Ezra Traeger Tarrant Music and Education Memorial Scholarship to Diego Reballero.